What's going on? It's your boy Bobby Crillz, and right now I just wanted to give a big thank you and a shout out to all the people that have been tuning into the podcast, subscribing to the channel, sharing it, doing all that good stuff. And I also wanted to give a really quick disclaimer. It has been brought to my attention, and I have noticed that the audio on the podcast has been a little choppy over the past couple weeks. I have identified the problems. I am fully aware of what's going on with the audio, and it's something that I'm working on rectifying as we speak. So going forward, it should not be an issue, but unfortunately with today's podcast and some of the previous ones, the audio has already been recorded. There's not much I can do on that level. So just putting a quick disclaimer out there for today's episode. In the beginning of the episode, you're going to hear a little bit of popping and a little bit of issues with the mic. It does clear up after a few minutes. But it is something that I'm aware of, and I just want to give you guys a heads up, let you know it's something that I'm working on, it's something that I'm going to be fixing and getting to the bottom of it. So with that said, enjoy the podcast episode. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And we'll take it from there. But you guys already know. Appreciate the love. Salute.
Plans to retire. Situations getting dire. I just needed time to breathe. At the moment, I'm not inspired. Stay in my space. Stay focused. Planning escape shit. Rapping or hustling. Either way, I'm going ape shit. I killed the clubs. Popped the
What up, it's your boy Bobby Crillz, and right now you're tuned into the HOTC Podcast, live from the Ambiance studio. And today I got a really special guest, actually a special episode in general, when it comes to somebody that's been putting in a lot of work, somebody that I'm actually meeting for the first time today, but it feels like I've been watching this kid grow up his whole life, you know what I mean? I've been introduced to this young man through his father, who I happen to follow on social media, and I actually grew up with his father playing sports and stuff like that. And just watching this kid grind and seeing the hard work that he's been putting in, I'm actually excited to talk to him today because I want to talk about his accomplishments and things that he wants to do in the future. It's definitely somebody that we should be rooting for. And when I created this podcast, this podcast was created to shine the light on people that need to have light shined on them. So if you guys don't know who I'm talking about today I'm talking about, I got my man Jahmeil Brown and Brett Brown in the building.
Yes, sir.
Salute, fellas. Welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate you, sir.
You ready? So today's a special day because this is the first time I've ever had like a father-son duo on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's that's actually an example of how good of a father you've been, man. And growing up with you, it's good to see you doing your thing like that. I think I told you a few times that I've seen you. I'm like, yo, keep it up, because we need more people, more men out there like you that are in their kids' lives and pushing them to be great. You were a great athlete growing up. We played together. Yeah. This guy threw 70 miles an hour swing passes, man, and like shit was hard to catch. You know what I mean? But you were a phenomenal athlete yourself. And just watching you grow up, and now I see your kids. You got 3 boys, right?
3 boys.
And they all football players, right?
All football.
Damn.
Football. Yeah.
How's that for you right now?
I mean, it's a blessing, man. To watch my kids, do something that I love, and I don't have to pretty much force them to play the sport. You know what I mean? They do it off of, now their whole thing is Big Brother.
Yeah.
They going off of Big Brother. They following Big Brother footsteps.
They watching you, right?
It's crazy. Yesterday we in AC, so my little one, he's just like, they was asking what number he wanted because the coach had called. So he's like, he said, I want 5. My son's like, he want 5. So he was like, he said, no. He said they ain't have 5. So then he was like, he said, I want 8. I want 8 like Jahmeil. I want 8 like Jahmeil. So I'm like, okay. Do what you do. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And my son Juju, he's in Saraville right now. He playing for Saraville.
Okay.
So it's another one. He took a year off, but he had broke a bone in his hand. Yeah. But he'll be back.
Did I pronounce it wrong? Jahmeil or Jahmeil?
It's Jahmeil.
Jahmeil, right?
Yes.
I said Jahmeil earlier.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, but he broke his hand?
Yeah, but he all right. He sold it.
He sold it. There you go. So the past couple of weeks, I seen that you've been playing and stuff like that. Your pop's been posting some videos. You've been laying some cats out, though.
Yeah, man.
laying them out. And your pops is proud to show the world too.
I hear you.
He's out here like, look what my little man doing. He fucking shit up. So it's good to see that, man. So what I want to get into in the podcast is I want to get into your heritage, who you are, stuff like that, just to identify who you are as a person and what you got going on like that. So I know Brett, and I think I know your mother too as well.
Yes.
We went to school all together. But what are you? Your heritage, nationality?
Well, first off, my name is Jahmeil Brown. I'm black and Dominican.
Okay.
I'm mixed. I grew up in Perth Amboy my whole life. I was born in JFK. I've always, I've grown up in Perth Amboy. It's my home, it's my city.
Perth Amboy, your whole life. What elementary school did you go to?
I went to 2 elementary schools actually. I went to E.J. Patton.
Okay.
And Willens, the one that's by the water. It's like down by the waterfront.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's over there by 1st Street, 2nd Street, down that area.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were like waterfront kids?
Yeah. I'm one of the
waterfront boys?
Yeah.
Waterfront's lit.
It's cool,
over there. The Dominican Festival was popular.
Yeah. I went this year, but then I had left because some things started to pop off. So
unfortunately, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I didn't catch that part, thank God. Luckily, I heard the kid was good too.
Yeah,
thank
he was
God.
good.
That's good.
God
But
bless him.
so black and Dominican, and you're a football player. There's not too many Dominican football players out there.
Yeah, no.
A lot of baseball players. You don't play baseball?
Nah, I tried baseball when I was younger, but then it was just, I don't know, it wasn't for me. I don't know.
No?
Like, it didn't give me like that same like drive that football gave me.
Yeah.
Like I tried every other sport. I tried like basketball, baseball, but I didn't really like stick to it like how I stuck to football for real.
So just to segue off of what you're saying right now, what was it that drove you to football?
This man right here.
Okay.
Right here.
Well, off the record, off the camera, you were saying that, well, not even off the camera, you were saying a few minutes ago that it was good to watch your kids get into a sport that you love so much, but you didn't really have to force them into it.
Yeah, I didn't have to force. I'm gonna speak about him. Well, all my kids, I didn't have to force them to like, come on, play football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was something that they love watching it. You know what I mean? They love watching it. And the crazy thing is, we all Cowboy fans, and
it's all right. Nobody's perfect.
You know what I mean? So I'm not forcing nothing. Like they got their own mind. They can like whatever they like. They can do whatever they want to do. But it's a blessing to watch my kids grow to love a sport that I love. And I don't have to force it. You know what I mean? Force it on them. Like come on, play this and play that. My lady, she's very nervous when it comes to that, because sport. I mean, football is a physical sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm like, he good. You know what I mean? He good. He know what he doing. He got the right people in his corner. So he doing good.
Let's talk about some of the trainers you guys been working with, because you guys been doing a lot of off the field stuff by yourselves. I see a lot of like solo training, a lot of ladder training, agility stuff. Who do you guys train with? Anybody want to talk about in particular?
Like footwork and all that other stuff, we go to Michael Thomas. I played with him at a private school that I went to before.
Okay.
That's my boy. We grew up together. We used to go to like Sanu camps, like Muhammad Sanu camps when we was younger.
Okay.
Me and him would both win like MVP and stuff for the Sanu camps.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
So me and him always grew up together. We went with him. And then for quarterback, we figured out about some guy named D. Williams.
Okay.
He was like a QB coach. He coached up a couple of like NFL guys. So
anybody you would know?
He a QB that plays for the Ravens right now. Anthony Brown.
Okay.
You got a Madawan.
Yeah. Actually, did he get some burn last year?
Yeah.
He did. He got some burn last year.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Brown.
I was when Huntley went down.
Yeah,
exactly.
And Lamar was out. Yeah,
exactly.
He played well.
Yeah, he did play well.
And then he got a couple QBs that just went Division 1, 2. So he knows what he's doing.
Okay, you guys see that guy from the Giants, DeVito? Did you guys? Was it the first preseason game was the Lions versus the Giants? There's a kid from Jersey, from Don Bosco. He played for the Giants.
Oh, for real?
DeVito, yeah, he was good. Played good, bro. Played good. He was connected. His wide receiver was from Jersey too. It was like his wide receiver was a senior in Don Bosco when that kid was a freshman. They both made it to the league now,
tough.
and then he threw a touchdown pass to him in the preseason game. He was balling his heart out. I love preseason, man, because that's when you see the real.
Yeah.
That's the heart. That's when that's the depth of the team. That shows you how good your team's gonna be, and the heart of the people that are not the superstars, man. And that's where the team is really made. That's the core of it. So it's preseason now, right? Did you guys start playing yet?
Yeah, we had a scrimmage against North Plainfield, and then we just had our first week 0 game against Rawway.
How'd that go?
We lost 21-7, but you just gotta get back in the lab and tune up a few things, And then,
Was it more like mental stuff?
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot of miscues, a lot of things that could be fixed. So we just gotta get back together as a team and really tune up on those things.
Now you said week 0. Does that game count towards the schedule?
Yeah. It's like an earlier game. So it's week 0. Not every team has a week 0 because before we used to have a bye week 0. So this is the first year in a while that we had a week 0. So now it's week 0, and then now we go into week 1. So we just have an extra game basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're playing in the GMC, right?
Yeah.
What division is this now?
I think.
Because last time I was there, I believe we were red.
You were red.
Yeah, we're not. I think we're white.
They break it down different now, right?
It's very different.
The GMC is completely different.
It's very different now.
It's not by population, right? It used to be by the size of the school.
Oh yeah. Is it still like that? Yeah.
Is it?
Still like that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys. So I heard you guys got a hell of a schedule this year.
Yeah, we do. We got a pretty good schedule. We got Carteret next week. And then we got
Carteret.
Yeah.
Before you even go on past that one, they stopped the Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl game.
Yeah.
Now you guys play them every year in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
first week.
Yeah.
So they never took away the rivalry. It's still there, right?
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
So what's your goal for that game?
To beat them.
To beat them
We
bad?
gotta beat 'em. Yeah, now we gotta beat them. We have to.
Okay.
My freshman year, they didn't have a season, so I didn't get to play against them. But then my sophomore year, we played them and we beat them.
Okay.
And then my junior year, we lost to them, so they got the trophy back.
Was that the last year?
That was last year. So this year.
Was that the last year of the Turkey Bowl or no?
No.
The Turkey Bowl already finished,
Yeah,
right?
it had already
that was
finished before.
pre-COVID,
That was
right?
pre-COVID, yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So now this year, we just gotta make sure we take that trophy back.
Okay. Oh, so they're still handing out the...
Yeah, there's still the trophy. There's still the trophy, but it's just not that
okay.
Thanksgiving thing. Now.
And the winner takes it back to the school every year. All right, so make sure... I'm a Panther from the heart, bro. We got to get that back, so we rooting for you. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right, so it looks like we got into the meat and potatoes of the growing up and stuff like that. I want to talk about football and how you were introduced to it by your pops, obviously.
Yeah.
You spoke about... you didn't really elaborate too much on how you fell in love with it. What was it about the sport? You say you tried baseball and...
Yeah, it was just, it's just something about football that really caught my eye. At first, the QB position, that was my thing. I really loved playing QB, but now it's I feel like my athletic ability has grown since I was younger. So it's now I'm a lot more versatile. There's a lot more positions that I could try. You feel me? So it's I do a lot more things on the field, and it's just fun being out there. It's just I get a different kind of
I feel you.
You
go to war with your boys. That shit feel good.
Yeah, every week.
So what are you standing at now? With 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", 204 probably.
Senior year, prime.
Big boy.
That's a big boy, man.
Yeah,
So how you towering over these other kids, man? How's he look compared to these other kids?
Yo, I want to tell you something, right? So last week they playing Rawway. So I'm walking in the game or whatever. So as I'm walking, they at the end zone, they getting hyped. So I'm walking, I'm like, damn, who this number 8 kid? I'm like, where he come from? Because mind you, I was 5. He always wore 5 too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, who this number 8? I'm like, he big as hell, right? So I'm walking in. So I get to our side. So I'm like, yo, I'm asking people in the stands, yo, who number 8? He big as hell. Man, that's your son. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
So what happened with 5?
5 has always been a good thing. You feel me? He wore it in high school.
Yeah.
It was just
he was infamous for 5.
I know. But it's it's my senior year. I wanted to I wanted to do my own thing this last year.
I respect that. I respect that. The work been put in. It's time to make the name, and it's time to go hard. So you playing for keeps right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Hungry, right?
Definitely.
You been hitting the weights?
100%.
Okay.
all the time.
That's one thing I never did in high school. I wish I would have, bro, but I just couldn't get into that. But that's good, man. So, how many years you been playing in total?
I've been playing since I was about 5. So I played flag a lot. I played flag, and then once I started playing contact with pads, I was always playing an age group above. I never played with like my real age.
So you were kind of advanced in football.
Yeah. So I was always like, but then it got to a point to where it was like I was too young to like play with a lot of like the bigger guys. So then I had to get moved down, and I hated that, bro. Because it's like, you know, like I played with these kids. I played with them for so long that it was just like I had to like. I had to stop playing with them, but it was like I was still cool with the kids that were my age, you know. I still went to school with them and everything, but it wasn't the same.
It was almost like they reclassified you on purpose.
Basically, yeah.
But you played with what age did that stop?
I think it might have been.
I want to say probably like 13, 14,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was 13, 14.
Around that age is where
like
boys would come in.
Like puberty and stuff.
Yeah.
So they had moved me down that year.
So you didn't technically reclassify. You just got put where you were
supposed to be. Yeah.
But growing up the whole time, you were playing a level above.
Yeah, I was always playing a level above.
That speaks a lot.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot to your development and stuff like that. So in Pop Warner, how was Pop Warner for you? What position did you play?
It was good. In Pop Warner, I played QB, and then I played DN and linebacker. And we were actually pretty good. Like, I liked our Pop Warner team. But the thing was, we were just always butting heads as a team. But we were still good, though. We went, like, my last year there, my 8th grade year, we went 8-2, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we lost in the playoffs, the second round of the playoffs. And we were supposed to play this one team, Berkeley Heights.
Berkeley Heights. We
Yeah.
we were
supposed to play them.
Are they good?
My year they were good. They were pretty good because they had just come off a win in the the championship.
Okay.
Yeah. They had just won the
We
championship.
used to beat the brakes off of
Bad.
Scott's Plains,
Plains,
Cranford.
Yeah. So we were supposed to play them like the week after that, but then we got cheated out of that game. Like we had caught. It was like I threw a pass to one of the receivers, and he caught it like right like in front of the pylon.
Yeah.
So then like he caught it, he kind of like turned like towards the pylon and reached for it, and he said he was out of bounds on the one.
Some Des Bryant shit.
So you got hit with a call. That teaches you how to deal with adversity, man, because that's rough, especially coming up short like that.
Yeah, man.
That's like an inch away type shit. That shit sticks with you forever, bro.
It's just the thought that always is like, damn, man, what if?
What if, yeah.
What if, though, yeah.
So it makes you, going forward, if you ever get put in that situation again, you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know, there's probably not much you could have did on that play.
Yeah, but you know,
you learn from it, right?
It's life, you know.
Did you lose a lot growing up or no?
I wouldn't say I lost a lot, but I feel like, you know, I've always been humble about everything, you know, and I've always, you know, taken my lessons and always learned from them, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always been like a humble dude, you know. I never really like been too like flashy with everything, you know. Like I've always been like, I voiced my opinion about certain things, and then that was it, you know. Like I was never really those guys that go out and like, oh, you feel me, like I'm the best, blah blah blah. Like I let my game really speak for me.
Okay. And the quarterback position, that's important too. How's your locker room qualities? Are you like a good locker room guy?
I make
motivate
sure,
your teammates and stuff like that?
You know, everyone, like, we could be down. I make sure everyone's heads is up, you know. Like, I always like to make sure that people are, you know, their heads stay in the game.
Yeah.
And their heads don't get too, you know, like, caught up in the moment, you know. Like, for example, against the Rawway game, you know, we had a receiver. Our receiver, he was having a hell of a game. He was probably having one of the best games in week 0 in the state, for real. He had like 10 catches.
Damn.
128.
Like 128, a touchdown, a pick. From he was doing his thing. But
who's
then,
the receiver?
My boy Shakir.
Shakir? Shaq Price?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. All right. That's your boy? All right. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's the connection right there?
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Yo.
That's the connection you was talking about, that video you posted?
Yes.
Sandbox.
Yes.
Okay. So y'all two grew up playing together?
Yeah, always.
So y'all know Jahmeil?
Yes. Yeah. We have like we all have like it was like always like we had like a 5-man group. It's me, Sha, Jahmeil, my boy Aiden, and then my other boy Guy.
Oh, that's lit. That's love. That's love.
Yeah,
all right. Small world.
Yeah.
That's dope as hell. Shout out to Shaq, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His son out here catching 10 balls for fucking 128.
Yeah, my boy was doing his thing, bro.
That's some numbers right there.
Yeah.
He do that all year. He should.
Yeah.
Should. That's it. He's like that.
Yeah.
We should brought him on here too. You know what I mean?
He was doing his thing.
So what was your highlight in Pop Warner? What was like the one play you could remember forever? You know, like that kind of defines your Pop Warner career.
There was 1 year in Pop Warner, right, where I played. This is when I played the year like when the age group above me, right?
Yeah.
And we were in something called like a turkey bowl, right, where we played on Thanksgiving, right? And it was like the last play of the game. It was the last play of the game, right? And I was at tight end. They threw me at tight end, and I ran like a 5 and out, and I caught the game-winning pass on a
on an out route.
Yeah, on the goal line. I caught the game-winning pass on the goal line, and then
damn, so you've been playing quarterback, tight end,
everything,
defensive end, linebackers, safety too.
Yeah, everything.
Jesus, versatility.
Yeah.
Damn. So where do you plan on focusing at this point?
You
know what? Don't even get in. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Right,
that's like jumping ahead, actually.
Yeah.
So Pop Warner was successful for you. You played pretty advanced, a level above your age group and stuff like that. Let's get into high school. First off, how are you in high school? You a good student? You popular kid?
Nah. I'm definitely a good student. You know, I straight honor roll student.
Okay.
A's and B's. You know, I make sure I stay on top of my stuff. You know,
Yeah.
Because the main goal is for me to get to that next level. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've seen a lot of guys, you know, go in and out of high school that I played with, you know, that had the talent to go to the next level, but like you know, the grades weren't there. So I made sure that was one thing that I really, you know, like emphasized is like,
you're not gonna let academics be the reason you don't get in.
Exactly.
Nah, that's a good way of thinking. That's a good way of approaching it too, because like you said, that seems to be like a never-ending cycle where we're from.
Yeah.
Some of the athletes that come out of Perth Amboy is incredible, man. I'm talking about could have been pro, could have did a million different things, man, but just focusing on academics. And I think that's kind of why this podcast to me is a little important. It's why I wanted to do it, to showcase the father-son relationship, because I believe that's so important in it. I don't know if you feel that yet. You might not, because you're still a little bit younger. But one day you're gonna look back and you have your own kids and you're gonna be like, this is what my father did.
Yeah.
And he's showing you by example how to lead and how to do it going forward. So just you might not see it yet. You might, I don't know. I'm not saying you don't, but just take that into consideration when you grow up, man, because you're gonna have kids of your own one day, and he's showing you exactly how to be a father. So I think that's something I wanted to point out in this podcast and just give you your kudos for it.
I appreciate it.
And salute for that, you know what I mean? Because it's important. There's a lot of kids out here that didn't have their fathers growing up. That all it probably took was that little relationship. And it could have been something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too deep, but
Appreciate it.
That's heartfelt shit right there. So you're freshman now? Oh no, you're senior now. Let's talk about your freshman year. How was freshman year?
So my freshman year was, you know, it was fun. You know, like it was a lot of like excitement going into my freshman year. You know, first year high school. You know, like so I played, I think, like 3 games of like freshman and JV.
Yeah.
And then the varsity starting quarterback ended up getting hurt. And then there was no one else to play QB. So they moved me up to Vars my freshman year. So then after that, it's been.
So how was your first varsity game at quarterback? Freshman. How big were you at that time?
I think my freshman year, I think I was about like the same height wise, like 6'1".
Yeah.
Like 6'1", 6'2". But I think I was like 150.
I mean, but in high school, that's kind of normal.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I was like 150, like 155.
Okay.
I was super skinny, like super skinny. But I was always like, out of like the freshmen, I was always
probably the bigger one.
Yeah,
right?
I was always the bigger one on the team. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was your first game?
My first game, it was against Old Bridge. It was against
That's a
Old
tough
Bridge.
team.
Yeah,
They're always tough.
Yeah, it was against.
There was that one battle. You know what I'm talking about?
With
Old Bridge.
it was
I think it was your senior year.
my senior year.
Cause I went to school.
Yes.
We were in the same grade. I ended up staying back in 8th grade. So that's when I went back a year.
Yeah.
I kind of reclassified too.
Yeah.
Kind of good for me too because I couldn't compete with these motherfuckers. They were different. But when I went back a year, I was much better. But anyways, that senior year, Old Bridge was a battle. I remember that was a battle.
It was a battle.
That was a battle.
It was a battle. It was a battle. Because they had ball players too.
Yeah.
I remember it was Brandon Nolan.
Brandon Nolan.
He went to Clemson.
Yeah.
Was it DeMarco? It was a receiver. One of the receivers. They were brothers too. They were fast.
Who was the linebacker from Saraville?
Oh, that was Brandon Hoyt. Big boy.
He went to Notre Dame,
Notre
right?
Dame,
Yeah.
yeah.
What happened to him, man?
I don't know. He was
beast.
huge, man.
He was a beast. He played with Zuda.
Yeah, Jeremy Zuda. Yup.
Remember kid from Piscataway ran a 4.2.
Larry Lester.
God,
Larry Lester.
I seen this dude take a 5 and out, bro, hit the sideline.
Yeah.
And he just it looked like a video game was on Rookie.
That's crazy.
Yo, you ever seen somebody run a 4.2?
Nah, I've never seen somebody.
It was different. It's different. 4.2 speed is different. If you see it in person and you see everybody else running around and you watch this 4.2 guy hit the sideline,
video game.
it's not even fair, bro. It's not even fair. It's bad, but anyways, my bad. So your first game was against Old Bridge.
Yeah, it was against Old Bridge. You know, like I didn't start the first half, but the offensive coordinator, he kept telling me like, "Oh, stay right next to me, like stay right next to me." So we go into halftime. Sean Atkins.
Okay, shout out to Sean.
Yeah. So he was telling me stand right next to him, right? So we were losing at halftime. You know, we're talking over it on halftime, and he pulls me off to the side, and he's like, "You're gonna start this half."
Cool.
So I was like, "What?"
Where was the game? Home or away?
It was away.
Oof.
He was like, "You're gonna start this half." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yo, you're gonna start." And I was like, I started shaking. I was super nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, bro, my first varsity game like this. Oh my God." So I was like super nervous. And then, you know, once I got in, you know, like my first throw, I overthrew a 6'5" receiver. Like he ran a hitch route and I threw it way over his head.
You had to get that off your season.
Yeah, but then after that, you know, like I kind of locked in, I tuned in, and then I ended up throwing for 2 touchdowns.
Did you guys come back?
Nah, we didn't end up winning, but
I mean, you throwing for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
You got the offense moving?
Yeah, we definitely did.
And then from that point on?
From that point on, we started doing our thing. From
Okay.
that point on, yeah.
Did you get your first W that year?
Yeah. We beat JP Stevens.
Wow, JP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we beat JP, and we beat a cut. I forgot who else we beat. We didn't play Carteret that year.
Yeah, not Carteret that year, no.
I forgot.
But you got your first W as a starting quarterback on varsity freshman year.
Definitely, yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Yep.
So freshman year, you could say was a success?
Yeah, it was a success. You know, I got that experience. You know, I got thrown into the wolves. You know, so I definitely got that experience.
Trial under fire. That's what they call it.
Yeah. Yep.
You gonna learn today.
Exactly.
You gonna learn today.
Exactly.
So with that being said, we're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna dive back into your freshman year, and then we'll take it from there. But we gotta pay the bills real quick. You already know. Heart of the City Podcast. We'll be right back. All right, so before the break, we were talking about your freshman year, and you got your first win against JP.
Yeah.
That's a good win too, because JP is normally like kind of a powerhouse too. They got some athletes over there.
Yeah, they were good. They were pretty good that year. They was alright, but like not for nothing. They've had like a big fall off.
Did
since
they?
Then. Yeah, they've had a really big fall off since then.
Okay. My kids are in that district. My kids are in that North Edison area right now. So I've been following JP with basketball because my son's a basketball player.
Yeah, the basketball team is really
they
good,
had this kid over there named Eli Peters, bro. He was really good this year.
He played football?
He played basketball.
Oh, I think I know who
He was good. I seen him play. It was him and this Indian kid at point guard. He was a fucking dog.
For real?
He was a dog.
Yeah, because we played, our basketball team played JP, and they lost to him, actually. They lost to him. They actually beat him pretty bad. I think it was in in the state bracket that they played him.
Yeah.
And they lost to him.
I went to 2 Amboy games, basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they got going coming up because it looks like they got a lot of kids that are playing JV right now that are going to be big contributors to varsity next year.
Yeah.
And then Donnie's my boy. I play ball with Donnie, the coach is my boy. I watched him play South Brunswick, and that was the first game I went to. I don't know if you watched South Brunswick at all this year, but South Brunswick was probably one of the best basketball teams that I've seen. Like team-wise, there wasn't one superstar, but the way they played,
they were just good all
they
around,
were just
right?
great, bro. Like the intensity, the focus, mistake-free, relentless defense. I mean, they pressed Amboy the whole game.
Yeah, the defense.
They didn't take the press off until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I'm talking about Amboy was barely getting the ball over the court. And we had ball handlers. We had the kid Lorenzo and there was another kid.
Who else? My boy Mookie.
Yeah, there was some good ball handlers. You know, Lorenzo was a good player. He was a really good player. But South Brunswick ended up taking it to the States. They lost to St. Thomas Aquinas by 2, which is a private school. That they recruit.
Yeah.
They lost to them by 2 in the counties, and then they ended up going to the state semis. I think they lost to Trenton.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they were a really good team. I don't even know why I got into that, but I follow basketball a little bit more than I did. But I'm actually looking forward to football this year because I've been watching you grind. You know what I mean? And now that I know the little circle of people that is there, is Jahmeil playing with you?
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, he starts safety. He plays safety.
Okay. So I'm definitely gonna go check out some games this year. When's the first home game?
Friday against Carteret.
This Friday.
Yeah.
This is my last day where I get out at 6 too, so I'm there. Yeah, say no more. At home?
Yep.
Oh, it's over. All right, I'm there. All right, so freshman year was a success, you could say. You got your feet wet. Yeah. Let's talk about sophomore year. How'd that go for you?
Sophomore year was, it was a good year.
Yeah.
But I say it was a lot more like humbling in a way. I learned a lot. I think I kind of let my freshman year kind of change the way I was as a person. I'd say I felt like I was a lot more because I started this, you feel me, I'm automatically gonna have the spot.
I feel like you didn't have to work as hard.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I had to I felt like I didn't have to really work as hard, so it was kind of I kind of came back and it bit me, so
did it take the whole year of sophomore year for that to happen?
Yeah, because at first I was a little in denial about it, I was kind of hard-headed.
Yeah.
But then after I think it was homecoming, we lost homecoming, and I was walking onto the field. I was walking after turning in my jersey or whatever after the game, and then I was walking across the field, and then the team was riding off in their bus, and then they were screaming out of the window talking. They were like, imagine losing on your homecoming. So I think it took that, and it was kind of just all right, I gotta
a reality check right there.
I gotta lock in. I can't be acting like this. I gotta really step my game up.
You were playing quarterback at that time, right?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
At that position, you're leading. You're leading men.
Yeah.
You're leading young men at this point in your career, but eventually, if you take it to that next level, you're gonna be leading men.
Yep.
It's not easy to do. So that mentality has to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure right now you got it because sophomore year was a reality check, right?
Definitely.
So did that change your approach going forward?
100%. 100%. This just proved to me that I had to work, 10 times harder, and I had to make sure that that's never gonna happen again.
Was there any highlights from sophomore year?
From sophomore year, there was definitely some highlights, but like I feel like sophomore year is more of like a blur because of junior year, because my junior year. My junior year, really, I feel like when I get older and I have the kids, bro, like I'm gonna talk to them about my junior year.
So junior year was probably the most adversity you ever faced?
Yeah, I decided, like, before the season started, I decided to transfer to a private school in Toms River.
What was the reasoning behind that?
It wasn't nothing personal, I just, I wanted a better opportunity to, like, be exposed to higher competition. Yeah. And to be recognized by, Big Ten schools, like big Power 5 schools,
So what Donovan, it was Donovan Catholic, right?
Catholic,
where was this located at?
Toms River.
So you were commuting from Perth Amboy?
Yeah, I was waking up. I mean, they didn't really start practice till like 1, so I was waking up at like 12, at like 11:30, and I was driving all the way to Toms River, and then I wasn't really getting done with practice until like 7:30.
Wow.
So then I would have to go back home
and be a student.
Yeah, but I didn't end up starting school there. By the time like school started, I had already transferred out of Donovan.
Okay, so you went there kind of like summertime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like the camp and everything.
Okay. Did you just realize it just wasn't for you?
Yeah, like I went there, I went there and...
Were you recruited there, or were you something you did?
Yeah, I was somewhat recruited there, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my boy Michael Thomas, he went there, so he wasn't like the main, like he kind of like, we went to one of his games actually to watch one of his games, like a playoff game. And it was just that atmosphere, like it was just different.
Yeah,
like, it's a different kind of atmosphere down.
It was a football school, football town. That's probably where the pride was at.
Yeah. So,
and they place a lot of D1 athletes.
Yeah, my boy got like, I think it's like 13 offers.
Wow.
Power 5 schools.
Really?
So yeah, so he's definitely doing his thing.
Okay. So the goal when Donovan Catholic came into play was to just mainly exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it is kind of hard. The GMC is difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to be seen. I know that in the past it's not. Don't get me wrong. There is some powerful schools. Piscataway is a powerhouse that just breeds D1 athletes. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's definitely difficult when it comes to football and stuff like that, especially when you're playing against kids that are being recruited and stuff like that. The competition level is top tier. So that was the goal there. Yeah,
that was definitely the goal. But then, like, eventually, like, I was there and I was sacrificing a lot, actually. I was sacrificing, like, a lot of, free time, like, me time, like...
Sleep, probably.
Sleep. I was sacrificing a lot, I had to stay at people's houses sometimes, to make sure that I got to practice the next day, because like someone couldn't, like my parents couldn't take me or something.
Yeah.
So I was sacrificing, a lot of time, sleep, like.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot on parents too, especially that's like about 45 minutes away.
An hour.
About an hour, right? It's past Seaside, right? About Seaside.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, so it was a lot, and then it was just like like I felt like. They were a lot, like, super hesitant to like put me in games.
Yeah.
When I feel like I was proving myself day in and day out in practice that I was superior to the guy that was in front of me.
Yeah.
And then, eventually, they changed my position to safety. But I wasn't really a crazy thing, because I played safety before, so it's like I know the position.
Yeah.
But even when I went and I transferred, and not transferred, but when I made the change to safety, they still were super hesitant putting me in. But like before the guy that was in front of me, and I continued to prove myself day in and day out that I was better than him.
Yeah.
So
you felt it's possibly a more political game over there?
Yeah, definitely.
Because politics do play a part in those bigger programs.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like
it's like Friday Night Lights.
Exactly.
Freaking, what's the other movie? The Billy Bob, Varsity Blues. You know what I'm talking about? Can he play? He's hurt, coach. He can't even walk. Can he play?
But man, there was definitely a lot more politics that went into that. So, so I felt like I never really got that opportunity, to get out there and really prove myself. And then it was like, when they did put me out there,
you were making plays?
I was making plays, but then they were so quick to sub me out. So it was kind of just like I never really got the chance to do anything.
Okay.
So
at that moment, I'm assuming you were like, you know what, let me go back where...
Just go back, let me just go back, because there's no point of staying here when I'm going to just be,
wasting away.
Yeah, exactly.
So you wanted to get back on the field, so the goal was let me go back to town, but this is where the problem lies, right?
Yeah. So by the time that I had transferred back to Amboy, it was already past the cutoff date. So the state said that I had to, since the school year hasn't started yet, so I had to sit 6 games. And
before you carry on, just to put that in perspective, 6 games in a high school football season
is the whole season.
What percentage of the season is that?
That's like
60%, 80%. Like 80% of the season you had to sit because of a transfer rule.
Yeah. So, and then the crazy thing is, this year they just made a rule saying that you could get 1 free transfer to a school and you won't have to sit. One of my coaches told me that actually. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
Welcome to life.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's crazy.
That's how life works.
Yeah. But
right when you need that blessing or that favor or something like that, it won't work. But then like once you're past it, you're like, oh, okay, now you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
That sucks. So junior year, you played how many games?
3.
3 games. What were you playing?
I was playing.
Because at that point, the quarterback's already in play.
I couldn't even.
You can't even mess with the team chemistry at that point.
Exactly. So I was like a utility player. Like they'll put me wherever, really. They'll put me at safety. They'll put me at outside linebacker. Sometimes they put me in at Q.
Yeah.
But then like
certain packages and stuff like that.
Yeah, like certain packages and everything. But that was really it for.
So I never asked you. Are you like mobile? Are you like a mobile quarterback or are you stationary?
Mobile.
Okay, you're not a statue quarterback, right?
I could get out of there.
All right, cool. Are you like your father? Because he used to run people over.
Yeah.
He was the only quarterback that was trucking people.
Yeah, I run people over. Yeah, my coaches be having to tell me like, nah, man, you can't take these hits. You gotta run out of.
You know how to slide?
Yeah, nah.
Well, your father didn't either. He was trucking everybody, bro. That's funny. But that's good. So you got a mobile aspect to your game. So they have certain packages for you. Mm-hmm. But you're pretty much dominating at any position they put you in, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's just I have like I don't know what it is, but like once I get on the field, I get like a killer instinct. It's kind of just like like I know nobody could really like mess with me for real. So it's kind of just like.
It's a confidence.
Yeah, it's just a confidence thing.
You belong there.
Exactly.
You're supposed to dominate.
Yeah.
It's not even. That's the championship. That's Black Mamba shit right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a killer mentality. That's a good mentality to have. So, junior year taught you a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And now we're approaching your senior year, right?
Yo, definitely. Yeah.
How has all that adversity, prepared you for what you're about to face now?
I feel like that adversity just showed me, bro, that this year I gotta come as strong as I ever came in any past previous years.
Yeah.
Like I gotta come out and I really gotta prove myself that that I belong here and I deserve to play at the next level. I hit the weight room hard. I gained more muscle.
What are you weighing at now?
I was at last year I was at like 190. Now I'm at like 205. So I put on a good like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
On like a good 15
and
pounds.
Remember, you said freshman year you was 150.
150, yeah.
It's crazy, right?
So
and it's been muscle because you're lean. You're not a fat kid.
Exactly, yeah.
What I
mean? I made a promise to myself before the season started that this is gonna be like a revenge tour.
Yeah.
Everyone counted me out. But I'm about to prove everyone wrong.
You got a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Now you gonna play with that chip.
I don't even got chips. I got like boulders on my shoulders.
I love it. So Friday we got the first game, right? Next Friday, Carteret, the fucking Ramblers. I hate the Ramblers, man. I don't like them at all, bro.
Hate them.
I do got some people that did play. Shout out to
too.
family, rest in peace, Seeley. I don't know if you know Seeley. You know Seeley. He was one of the best running backs out of Carteret ever. He was a good Rambler. But other than that, I don't really fuck with too many people over there. But all right, so let's talk about senior year. Where do you plan to be this time next year? Because the year hasn't started yet. You had 1 week 0 game against Rawway, so you're ready. You're already in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You're past the preseason. You're past the mini camp and stuff like that. Now you're in the mix of it. You're about to lock in. It's about to be just go time. What do you plan to be next year? This time?
Next year, hopefully, after this year, I could pick up some type of, scholarships or anything. But if not, I'll still apply for scholarships, because I still have, good grades. So I can always go wherever I want to go and I can walk on somewhere. Yeah. So it's it's not really, I'm not really, stressing too much about that.
You're not pressed about the education aspect of it because you're going to get that regardless because you've been a good academic student the whole time.
So hopefully, I just want to be at the next level. I want to go to the next level. I want to prove to myself that I'm able to play at the next level.
Yeah.
So that's one of my main that's one of the main things that I'm really striding towards right now. Is to play at that next level. My
question to you is: have you ever thought about a JUCO route if that's the case? Because there's been pro athletes that have went to JUCO and have come into the league and have dominated. Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I watched a show called Last Chance U.
I love Last Chance U. I watch it with my kids all the time.
Yeah. And that show just
it's inspiring, right?
It's really inspiring because it just goes to show you that it's just there's a lot of guys that are like me, they faced adversity in high school, or even adversity in college, they get kicked out of big time programs, you
gotta start over.
Happened. Yeah, exactly. Started from scratch.
Yeah.
So, if JUCO does come into the question, I definitely won't. I'm not denying that option, but
because there's some real powerful programs out there that can really put you and give you that exposure that you need, if need be. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's going to be the case. The way that I've been seeing what you've been doing, what your dad's been posting and stuff like that, I'm like, who's not watching this? How is nobody watching this? You know what I mean? And I hope that the tapes are being put together. I know you're putting the tapes together, right? Because sometimes, especially in a smaller market or school like where we're at, there's people that probably don't have that reach. It's not that they can't give you the exposure; they just don't have it. So sometimes you have to do it yourself. And make sure that everything's being filmed. If you need help editing and stuff like that, let me know. I'll help. I do a little bit of stuff like that. Put some music behind it, get some hard hitting shit. You know what I mean? And make sure you send it out to everybody, bro. Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, Josh Allen.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Did you hear the Josh Allen story?
He didn't have no scholarships, nothing coming out of high school, and then he sent one big paragraph, copied and pasted it to every school in the country.
And then was it Wyoming?
And then Wyoming was the only school that gave him a scholarship, and then he went to Wyoming, and then.
And look at where he's at right now.
Josh Allen.
I just picked him up. I think I got him in the second round of my fantasy draft. I got him in the second round. I think I had to because I had a bad pick or something like that. But I got Bijan Robinson and.
That's a good pickup. Yeah.
They said I stretched because I got him at 5, but I just look at the volume. He's about to get a lot of touches in that offense, and they're not going to pass too much. So, but so a lot of adversity. If you had to set a goal for the next 5 years, what would that be?
Hopefully, it's to go pro. That's the main goal from all of this. Is to go pro. You feel me? To make myself and everybody in my family proud. And to prove to myself that all the hard work that I've put in throughout the years paid off.
Yeah.
But people always tell me, gotta have a backup plan or whatever. So it's kind of just like, you know, I do my research here and there. You know, like I do real estate. You know,
that's where the money's at.
Yeah, talk real estate or investing in some like stocks, day trading. You know, like different things.
Are you financially literate on those things?
I do my research, but I kind of understand day trading a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm like super into.
Yeah.
But real estate, I could like I get the grasp of it, I understand it, you know. But I don't think I'm like I completely understand it.
You still got time. Yeah. You know what I mean? You still got time to figure that stuff out. As far as like your family being proud, I can tell you right now, your family's very proud of you. You know, I see it every day. You know what I mean? And just keep the grades up, and you're gonna be just fine. And when they ask you if you have a backup plan, show them your report card. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then ask them, do you know what you're talking about? You know what I mean? Because sometimes that question, people that are not dreamers or people that are not pursuing something bigger than this life right here, it's hard for you to really express your feelings to people that don't understand. You know what I mean? Because you're living in a different world. You know what I mean? And there's going to be people that are going to shut you down and try to bring you down with words because they can't. You know what I mean? So like I said, when they ask you what your backup plan is, show them your report card. Because that's going to speak for itself. And I bet you they didn't have a better report card. You know what I mean? And the way you've been raised and the kid that you are, the young man that you are, I see right now, you're going to be just fine regardless if football works out for you or not. You know what I mean? So just keep that mindset and you're going to be great, bro. So we got 5 years ago. You say you want to be a pro. What I want to get into is a little bit of the fun stuff. You said you play Madden, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Madden because when it comes to Madden, I'm a Madden fiend. I've been playing Madden since like 94, 95.
I was just playing Madden before we got here, actually.
I was too.
Yeah, I was playing.
I grinded out the headliner solos this morning.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I got that that Watson card.
The cornerback.
The cornerback,
the 85. Yeah, I got him. I got him yesterday. I got him last night.
I got him, and then I just got Reggie White this morning.
I didn't get Reggie yet. But my defensive tackles are DJ Reader and Dwayne Brown. 82, 83 overall. I got
Vita Vea and Derek Brown.
Okay, so you know what? We're gonna have to lock in. What system are you playing on?
PS5.
Okay, it was cross-play now, so it doesn't even matter. But just so you know, Xbox has the better Madden players. It's a fact.
Come on, man.
It's a fact.
Come on.
If you look at the leaderboards right now, I bet you Xbox is on top.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. It's all right. It's fun.
My son plays PS5 too. He plays 2K, and I be kicking his ass in that shit too.
Yeah, I be playing 2K too, but I can't play 2K for too long. I start getting angry with 2K.
Yeah, I don't like 2K. It's too much. It's too much movement. But Madden, I lock in.
Yeah,
bro.
but Madden, that's my thing. That's my thing in Madden.
Yeah, we can play some Madden. Any personal goals you're trying to accomplish aside from the
personal goals?
Yeah. Any statistical goals? What was your I guess your barometer? It depends on what position you're playing too, right?
Yeah, they got me. I'm everywhere this year. You know, they got me at running back. You know, so QB, safety, outside linebacker. Sometimes they'll throw me down at the end. You know, like they just have me everywhere. You know, so it's kind of just like for offensively, I want to rush for at least 1,000 yards this year. Like that's like minimum.
Damn, how many carries do you think that's gonna take?
Hopefully not too much. Hopefully not too much. But
how's your line? How's the offensive line over there?
No comment.
Nah, we should be alright.
Well, I think we'd be alright though. We'd be alright. I think we should be good. But that's my offensive goal. Defensively, I need at least like 6 picks, 80 plus tackles, 80 plus tackles, and then probably I want to go all first team, all
county? All GMC?
Yeah.
I think that's very feasible goal. Mm-hmm. Especially if they got you like a utility tool like that, you're going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
They just want you to affect the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're probably the only kid they moving around like that, right?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And you just, well, my question is, how are they going to identify what to play on the next level? That's something that I'm thinking right now. I'm like, if they got you all over the place, where's the focus going to be?
I don't know. Like, I could rock out at like linebacker or something, but it's kind of like,
You're gonna
I
have
like
to put
playing
some weight
safe.
on.
Yeah, I would have to put more weight on. But then I could play like a strong safety or like a nickel back. I could play that.
That's a big thing right now. Like the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Like those guys are just utility. They play nickel and safety.
Yeah.
Big enough to cover a tight end, and they'll fuck you up if you're running the ball.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? So that's awesome, man.
Yep.
I mean, your coach has got a big problem right now because what do you do with him, bro? It's like, it's crazy. That's a very talented athlete. But on that note, man, I just want to thank you for coming on the podcast.
Sir, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.
Sir.
You know what I mean? I wish you the best of luck this season.
Yeah.
We're going to be rooting for you for sure.
Thank you.
And, you know, anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to my mom. Today's her birthday, actually.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Today's her birthday, so shout out to my mom. You know, and yeah, that's really it.
Okay, where can they find you on Instagram and stuff like that?
At Instagram is ST5CKS Stacks. That's my that's everything. It's my everything. You know, Snapchat, Instagram. You know, if y'all want to see me, y'all want to follow me. You know, that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. I'm gonna put all that in the description on the YouTube video and stuff like that. So with that being said, Heart of the City Podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Sir.
Salud.